really out for blood this time. Look.
The third and final week of the preseason is here. A fourth exhibition game is a thing of the past. It's the Buccaneers and the Dolphins, and it's coming up next.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup here in Week 3 between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit CD at Week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Miami. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
Here we go.
Now the first carry for Bush. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll keep it in the hands of Bush. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against him.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. First carry now for the LSU alum, Ty Davis-Price. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First down, and they go right back to Davis-Price. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights? That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw? Extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
The big loss on first down leads to a tricky 2nd down. 18 yards to go. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? They'll drop to throw. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Fielded at the 20. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
Fields on 1st down, being chased out left. And this one is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off, and then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. Here's Raheem Mostert, the local product from right here in Florida, down to about the 45.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, "I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you."
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Fields. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. But we know that he can get 1st downs with his arm and his legs, Charles. And there, when he gets outside of the pocket, the defense has to account for both, and he's able to complete it for the 1st.
And he's very comfortable outside of the pocket. Some quarterbacks, that's not their thing. For him, that seems to be the #1 asset to his game. Gets out into the open field, things seem to break down the secondary a little bit, and he picks out the right target.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And some room to maneuver. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more on that one and another first down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Here's Mostert, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now it's Fields. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Butker's kick here is good, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
This taken in at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Drive begins with a carry by Davis Price. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
2nd down, and again it's Davis Price. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
Bush trying the middle. He juked him. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he gets us up past the 30 to the 32.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here we go.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Davis Price on 1st and 10. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll get this up to about the 40.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Here we go.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis in this first half of action. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Bush. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Second down at 4. Garoppolo looks to throw. Gets it out wide to Davis Price.
Here we go.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know, I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Well, L. Collins of LSU is the guilty party. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 12, Fields. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tyreek Hill, 53 yards. And the Bucs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flushed from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead grows to 10-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Garoppolo now, first down throw, and that's incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, not all the way through.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Brett Kern now to punt this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 23, and he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here first and 10. From the gun, here's Fields. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the 50, here's Fields. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Fields. Steps away to his left. And he rifles one incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Week 3 of the preseason is here. Everyone wrapping up their exhibition schedule. No games for the league on Labor Day weekend, and then it all begins. The 17-game regular season gets underway on the Thursday after Labor Day with the NFL kickoff game. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there. Both of these coaching staff with some big decisions to make coming up as the preseason draws to a close. The second half's going to be filled with a lot of evaluation. And to bring it your way, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. third quarter starts with a run from Mostert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the 27, Fields. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Fields. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
These are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Now Garoppolo. And that is caught. Touchdown Miami. Allen Robinson, 28 yards. And the Dolphins take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. On the return, Marcus Jones from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he is going to lose yardage here. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
They hand it off to Mostert, and he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 68 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 39-yard line. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, it's exactly what you're looking for.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Back to throw, Fields. They'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he's into the end zone for the Tampa Bay touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 24 yards. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll start on the ground with Bush. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here we go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again with Bush. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get him much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves him with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Miami. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle, Nwangu. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. A 1st throw for the backup Wilson. They'll find Miller. That's complete. So an agile move, but not a big gain. Down right near the 25. 2nd down and 8. Here's Wilson to throw. Finding Miller once more, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A Miami 1st down on a 14-yard pickup.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. In for the sack, Deion Jones. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Throwing now is Wilson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers. Anyone who's going to lay down a block, don't let there be penetration because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. If you can do that, make them burn their timeouts, run out the clock, life will be good. But if you really want to gamble a little bit, a quick play action, quick throw, might be able to get it done. Just make sure it's not incomplete and stop the clock.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Another run now for Nwangu. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And out across midfield down to the 45. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On the give is Nwangu. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. The other 3 here on 3rd down.
Well, that's not a tapes. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
They'll go with a keeper. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.